In this section, I would like to discuss machine learning. In data mining, there are two types of models, supervised and unsupervised learning. Let's talk about the first category, which is supervised learning. The data usually comes with additional attributes that we want to predict. Now, these predicted attributes or features are called targets. In supervised learning, there are two types of tasks, classification and prediction. Now, in classification, typically samples belong to two or more classes, and we want to learn from already labeled data on how to predict the class of unlabeled data. An example of a classification problem is handwritten digit recognition, which you see on the screen here. Now, the other type, prediction, the desired output is usually consistent of one or more continuous variable. An example of a prediction problem is attempting to predict a whale's length as a function of its weight and age. Many supervised learning methods can include linear models, which we have worked with in the past, such as linear regression, whereby it fits a linear model with coefficients to minimize the residual sum of squares, which by now you are experts in, especially when looking between the observed targets and the dataset, whereby a linear approximation predicts the target. There are, of course, many other supervised learning methods. In this case, I've listed 17 that one can select from. In unsupervised learning, the goal is to discover similar groups within the data or determine the data distribution within the input space, or find interesting relations between variables in vast databases. The most common unsupervised learning methods are clustering, density estimation, or association rule learning. As you can see from the list below, there are quite a few methods. In summary, it's imperative to be able to distinguish between the machine learning methods and to apply the correct model, whether you're trying to predict the magnitude of an earthquake, recommend items to online store customers based on patterns from their previous transactions, or simply just being able to distinguish between spam and non-spam email messages using classification. This is a truly fascinating topic, and I'm looking forward to delving in the next couple of lectures. There is a great website to learn about all these different supervised and unsupervised learning methods, which is called scikit-learn.org. Again, it is scikit-learn.org. It is an absolutely fantastic resource that delves into supervised and unsupervised learning methods. Now, scikit-learn offers many functions when it comes to either pre-processing of the data functions that will be able to standardize or even normalize your data, reduce the number of factors, split the data into training and testing data. And as you can see, it has also a lot of cool supervised learning functions for linear regression and ordinary least squares. To summarize, scikit-learn is the machine learning Python library, and again, it offers lots of functions for pre-processing data and functions for standardizing and normalizing data. It also includes supervised and unsupervised learning functions that we will use in future lectures. This concludes our section on machine learning methods.